and you don't understand. And I hope you will tell everyone my story of how I lived and fought until the very end. And when you play my favorite song, hang my picture on the wall, mention me in prayer. How will you remember me?
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Conversation. I am your host, Ashton Grooms, and before we get into tonight's conversation, I just want to send a very special love, special energy, a prayer to a sister, Samantha James. I know that she's had a very tumultuous history, past. She's had a lot of beefs. She has current beefs going on. But I was sent a live today that moved my spirit, and the sister is in need of mental stability, of addiction help. She's in need. So if you have a heart, you don't have to know who she is. I probably will never meet her, and she'll probably never see this. But the sister deserves to know that somebody cares. And if you can, just send up a prayer. Her name is Samantha James. If you want to use her nickname, it's Cookie Tookie. And if you're in the Los Angeles area and you can go and find her safely, then it'd be greatly appreciated. But let's send prayers up for her. Tonight is a night that I believe, okay, I believe it in my soul, that I manifested, I have conjured, I have, with God's help and love, I have been able to connect with this woman who has been a musical healer to my soul. She is the incomparable, she's the award-winning, she's the mother, the daughter, the sister, the wife, the amazing Avery Sunshine. I'm going to bring her in right now. Give me just 1 second. Hey, everybody. Now, when she does come in, I'm going to cut off the comments. And if you have any questions, down there, we'll see it. Waiting for Miss Sunshine to come on in. I'm so excited, y'all. Hold on, let me put my little glow back up there. You know, I got to have my little glow, honey. Avery, do you see it? Let me try to do it again. It's waiting for Miss Avery Sunshine.
Listen, what you're not going to do.
Wait, I can't even hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, baby.
Hi.
What you're not going to do is come on with this gorgeous lip.
Listen,
I'm not
okay?
talking to you.
I had to because I have a legend right here amongst us today. I have Miss Avery Sunshine. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful, and I'm so glad to be here with you. It means so much to me. Please know that.
Really?
I'm honored.
Little old me?
Get out.
Little old me?
Me and my sister Stephanie been talking about them cheekbones.
Yes, I get that from my mother. They are there. They ain't going nowhere.
Beautiful.
They ain't going nowhere. Thank you so much for this. I want to let you know that I've let you know in private, but I want to publicly let you know that your gift has been a gift for me. It has healed me. And what I love so much about you that we're missing and that we've missed since the Sam Cookes and the Aretha Franklins and the Al Greens and, you know, the singers of our time is your honesty with your writing. And the way that you finesse and the rhythm in your vibrato and just you. I love you so much. And I'm going to tell you a story.
Please tell me. Thank you.
So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was 2016. It was October. You were bringing your pretty self up to Virginia, to the Birchmere. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
I had bought a ticket. I'm one of them people that don't wait for other people to buy a ticket. I buy my ticket because I want to be front row center. I don't want to wait for you to wait for, for your check to come in the mail.
Yes, yeah.
I don't care. I want to get my ticket up front. So I bought my ticket, and I was so miserable in life. Yeah. I hated my job. Friends had betrayed me. Family had left me. Yeah. I was lonely. I was depressed. But I was coming to see you. And I was in a systematic way of performing. I was going to work. I was getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, going to sleep. And that was my routine.
Yeah.
So this day, I think you were check to come in the mail.
Yes, yeah.
I don't care. I want to get my ticket up front. So I bought my ticket, and I was so miserable in life.
Yeah.
I hated my job. Friends had betrayed me. Family had left me.
Yeah.
I was lonely. I was depressed. But I was coming to see you. And I was in a systematic way of performing. I was going to work. I was getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, going to sleep. And that was my routine.
Yeah.
So this day, I think you were coming on a Thursday, and I had gotten up, gone to work. It was a long day. I was drained. I went home and I went to sleep.
That's the best story ever.
And I woke up the next morning, and my thing was to listen to WHUR every morning.
Yeah.
And the woman on there said, how amazing was Avery Sunshine?
You're kidding me.
I said, I know you're lying. You are lying to me. I go and I look in the email and I'm looking, and for whatever reason, it didn't dawn on me that I had slept through.
You have got to be kidding.
Your concert. And I was so upset, Avery. I was so crushed and hurt. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Did you
So
tell Dana that? Did Dana
No,
know
I
that?
forgot to tell him that.
I can't wait to tell him.
I found the email and I just remembered the story. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I remember because I was coming to see you.
That's brilliant. Guess what, though?
I was coming to see you.
That won't ever happen again, because what I'm going to do is call you. Are you on the way? Whenever we get back to doing shows,
Yes.
Ashton, are you on the way?
I'm there. That would never happen again. How are you doing throughout all of that's going on right now?
You know what I am deciding to be better and to not allow how I am feeling. I want to allow what I'm feeling to be felt, but I don't want it to consume me. And it's been consuming me. And for valid reason, rightly so, right? We should allow ourselves to feel what's happening. So, but I can't complain. I cannot complain.
Good. So how do you ground yourself with all that's going on and with you being such a creative? I know that it busts at the seams sometimes of trying to get it. And I haven't been hearing you speak. I haven't been hearing you. I've seen your lives, your concerts at home.
Yeah.
But I haven't been hearing you speak. We saw you post the video when you were going to vote and that whole rigmarole that was happening there. But how do you ground yourself being so vocal in a time like this?
Yeah, I have been introspective. There's so many things that I feel like I want to just go like this and everything that's in here just come out. And I've been quiet because I've been processing so much. Ashton, I know, like a lot of people, I'm afraid, I am hopeful, I am confused, I am embarrassed, and embarrassed that there's, you might not be old enough for Public Enemy, but I'm embarrassed when Public Enemy was talking. I'm embarrassed when KRS-One was talking. I was kind of listening.
Yeah.
I wasn't really listening. I'm embarrassed that Farrakhan was saying stuff and people who were woke were talking, and but I am forgiving myself for doing what I had to do and what I knew to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How to survive. Now and we all know, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah. And like I was telling Dana last week, I had been closing my eyes because I didn't want to deal with coming outside of what I had created to be comfortable for myself. I didn't want to tell myself the truth. I didn't want to see the injustices. I didn't want to deal with that pain.
Yes.
That I felt like my ancestors had already dealt with.
Yes.
I didn't want to bog myself down with that. So I totally understand where you're coming
Yes.
I
Yeah.
totally.
Yes. My mother talked about that. I was going through all this and I was like, Mom, you never told me your stories. I didn't know. And she was like, while y'all were trying to learn about it and read about it, she said, I lived it. So I didn't want it. It was too painful to talk about. And I was hoping things were shifting and you didn't have to deal with the world that I dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I talked to my father-in-law today, and ironically, I asked him, I said, Grandpa, is this worse than when you were a kid? And he's 81. He said, nah, it ain't worse. It's the same.
Really?
He said, it's the same. He said, the only difference, he said, was y'all got cameras. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine living through what looks like progression, living through what looks like reformity to here we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. So Avery, let me ask you, because I know that you grew up in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There were some singing souls that came out of Pennsylvania. I tell you the truth. That's where it come from, that Pennsylvania water. Is it in the
I don't know. I don't know I lived on the Delaware, right on the Delaware River. I don't know. This is the dirtiest water. What people say that. What's interesting?
Yeah.
I don't think I understood how rich my home, my area was until I left.
Wow.
And when people asked, because I left when I was 18, I came to Atlanta to go to Spelman. Yeah. So I didn't know. Now I sang with the Wilmington Chester Mass Choir. And if you're not familiar with Wilmington Chester Mass, you got to get some Wilmington Chester Mass music. You just got to do Reverend Ernie Davis and the
You went to Spelman. Come on, education. I'm on the Spelman part.
Oh, you ain't there?
Come on.
So what I did, I speaking of an education, I got most of my musical education singing with the choir and traveling with them and getting to go to the Stellar Awards and do things like that. And I wasn't really in the R&B world. But that's all I listened to at the house. That's all my mother played. All I heard was the sound of Philadelphia. Gamble and Huff, all the I heard Frankie Beverly and Mays and Patti LaBelle, and I mean, you name it. That's
Phyllis
all.
Hyman.
So that, say it again.
Phyllis Hyman.
God rest her soul.
Yes.
Phyllis Hyman, Meet Me on the Moon. Would you believe one of my best friends, her name was Barbara Layton Lane. We did, I think it was WDAS FM Philadelphia. They had some competition. Yeah. And they wanted people to come and sing songs or whatever. So we said, we're going to compete. We're going to be, what was it? Sisters of Soul or something. I don't even know. And anyway, we said, we're going to make this a duet. So we did Meet Me on the Moon as a duet, and we won.
Wow. To hear you sing Meet Me on the Moon, I think my wig would just come right off.
No.
It would just come right off.
I think I as much as I love the song, I really wished that I had that depth, that soul, that vibration in my being, where Phyllis was a very, very special human. And that gift, my God, I only wish I could go.
Come on.
Come on, Phyllis! I'm actually, and look, and the sun is shifting. I call myself getting my light right. Don't fuss. Let me close this because I can't see. I'm going blind.
It's giving it. It's giving everything that you need to give. Just the queen.
But wait. Count to three. I'm gonna fix that. You know how you have your stuff together and it don't. See, there it is. Now I can see.
There it is. Now go back to your story. Okay, so you were at the choir. You were doing the Stellar Awards.
We were doing. I was singing with them and getting an education in music, you know, being around all these amazing musicians. One of my favorite pianists on the planet, his name was Willis Hickerson, his name is, and he was the pianist for Wilmington Chester. So I hear him play and watch him play. And my experience, though, was classical piano. So I was reading everything, right?
Okay.
And then I'm with these folks who not only read music, but they play by ear and they play with their souls, their everything. And I, it was transformative.
Right.
And I had no idea that music would be my life's work.
Really?
Not like this.
So when were you revealed that? When did that hit you?
When I couldn't get a job at SunTrust, when they were like, listen, ma'am, look here, you've been here for 3 days. This ain't for you. Don't worry about it.
Really?
I was like, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I was like, you better sing and tap dance and do something.
It was all over.
You can't work, you can't do the corporate gig.
Wow.
You're not cut out for it.
Wow.
But really, I'm thankful for for church in that space, because that's where I cut my teeth. I had no idea my performance teeth were being cut at church. Directing choirs, teaching, having to engage the congregation, the audience, right?
And you do that so well.
Oh man, I do that because it makes me feel more comfortable too. The truth of the matter, to make me feel like I'm not alone, I have to talk to the folks, and I want to know. Listen, I'm not here for me. I'm here for us. I'm bringing something, and I want you to give me something back, or we're here together for us. If that makes any sense. And I learned to deal with my nerves that way, and it's been my shows end up being more rewarding for me than you could even imagine.
I can imagine that. I can't imagine, but I can definitely imagine.
You're a performer, because you know that feeling when people give that thing back to you.
Yeah, it's that exchange. It's that thing that no matter what you hear, no matter what happens, it makes you want to come back again.
It's the truth.
And, I completely understand talking. When I used to do that, saying a thing back. One of my things was to talk.
Yeah.
I would get up there and I'd talk and I'd say and I'd connect with somebody, and it eased. I have such stage fright. I could pee on myself.
Really?
Oh my God. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Now when I step on set, I'm fine. When I'm on a set in front of a camera, absolutely fine. But when I step on a stage, whether it be a play, whether it be singing, whether it be talking, I could pee on myself.
That is, and see, listen, when I get behind a camera, and I in no way have I done it like you have. So if it's a camera like my phone, the light come on, I come in.
Really?
And then I got to do it again. Okay.
Wow.
The red light syndrome, right?
But I think for me, it's creating the character that I get to stand behind, so I haven't been able to create the character on stage, but creating the character that I get to stand behind on stage, that's how I do it.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So what about, okay, so you said that you started in church and gospel.
Yeah.
What was it that made you go into the R&B that you're doing now versus being a gospel artist?
That's a really, really, really good question, because if I think about my repertoire of the music that I knew, it was predominantly gospel, because that's what I was teaching the choirs. And at one point I had like 5 different choirs. So there was a whole bunch of different denominations. So I've got all this music, but what was ringing true for me was the everyday. And not that God is not every day, but my everyday is not just God. It's my love life. My everyday is my car didn't work today. My everyday is, wow, something great happened. I woke up and I feel good. My everyday is, today is jacked up. I don't feel like it. Today, my everyday is, I feel like having a drink today
Mhm.
at 9 a.m. My everyday is, my day has started, and my mom comes over and the day is derailed because she just wants to sit and talk about daddy, whatever it is. And
Mhm.
I cannot lie. I cannot act like I'm not feeling what I'm feeling. And I'm not always feeling like I want to sing, Jesus be a fence all the
Mhm.
time, every day. It's
Yeah.
not that I just, I am, I feel like being honest all the time about how I'm feeling. And I think that's why R&B or soul was a better fit for me. Um, yeah, I guess, I get people who ask me, when you gonna do a gospel record? I was like, I don't know. As much as I love gospel music, I don't know.
That would be amazing. That would
Oh
actually,
no.
especially if it's a live gospel album.
Oh
Now,
Lord. I'd be
let's take it a
crying through
step
the whole
further.
thing.
That's okay.
Lord, help me the whole. I mean, just the whole time. I don't know.
We would love that though. Your fans out here would love that.
I think we've been talking about it, and I'd be, I'd be telling an untruth if I acted like we hadn't talked about it, thought
So
about it. I, I,
just ponder over it and see how you feel.
I'll ponder.
So starting in church,
Yeah,
having such a rooting in church,
yeah.
um, when it comes to your LGBTQ fan base,
Hmm.
first of all, how do you feel about that community, and how do you, because you do have a lot of religious folk that are within that fan base,
Hmm.
that have their convictions against that particular or this particular lifestyle. How do you combat that? How do you fuse it together so seamlessly?
Huh. I tell my truth. I allow my truth to be seen, and my truth is that I love my LGBTQ, and I'm learning it. I'm gonna get the last part because I want to get it right. LGBTQ
IA, and I think they've added P plus.
IAP plus
Yeah.
family. And I tell this story because I feel like it's the only way that I'm able to express how I feel about. Um, I was 17 and my brother said to me, and I grew up in the United Methodist Church.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And my brother said to me, we were having a conversation. He went to Morehouse College. And he wanted me to go to Spelman. And we were just having like a life conversation. And he's just talking, he's talking. And he said, he referred to somebody at the church. And he says, and I don't know if they looked at me like that. I don't remember what the conversation was about. I mean, all about the specific, right? But he said, they looked at me like, I don't know if they looked at me like that because I was gay or what. And I think he wanted me to pause and be like, what'd you say? But I was like, yeah. So, and he was like, yeah, did you hear what I said? I was like, yeah, what? So what? It didn't make him any different.
Mm,
Him
mm.
saying that to me didn't make him any different. So my experience with my LGBTQIAP
P.
plus
Mm-hmm.
family is, I
Yeah.
as different as you and I are. I celebrate our differences,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never really been able to understand why it's been a problem for so many other people, any more than me telling you I'm heterosexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be like, okay.
So, okay.
Yeah, so okay. I
Yeah.
never knew why it was such an issue. And um, I will say now that we're dealing with, and I'm all over the place with this because it's such a big deal for me, especially in church,
Mm,
especially with such a large gay, trans presence in church and all this hypocrisy. right? And it's sickening.
Yeah.
We don't attend church a lot. I've seen too many. I'm off on another conversation now. Let me
No,
at
no.
least finish the other
Yes.
part. I wrote a song in honor of my brother, and that song was called or is called "See You When I Get There." And I tell the story about it. We did a Google performance some years ago, and I actually told the whole story. The only reason I don't tell the whole story now when I'm in shows is because they be rushing me, and I got to hurry up and get to the song. But that's the only reason. I don't want folks, please know I am very clear about where I stand and how I feel about my brother and my family, right? And so the song simply says, you go your way, I'll go mine, and I'll see you when I get there. And that there is wherever God is designed for you to be, just as different as our fingerprints are, but they on the same hand, right? That's as different as, but it's on the same hand. So you go your way. My thumb is made for one thing and my index finger is made for something else. But I'll see you when I get there, when we got to grab whatever that thing is together. We still together, right? Right. So you go your way. You got to go. You're made to go that way. This is made to go that way, but we still together, right?
Yes.
You go your way, I'll go mine. I'll see you when I get there. And I had someone invite me to go to a church here in Atlanta, predominantly white church, as a matter of fact. And I'm in a space now where I need to make those. I just need to distinguish that. I'm in that space where I'm being more comfortable talking about my blackness and their whiteness, and I need that for my healing. At any rate, so the guy says to me, "Listen," the minister of music says, "Listen, we are so glad you're here. You're here. We want you to sing your songs. But listen, I saw your video to see you when I get there. Oh man, I love that song. Yeah, but don't sing that. And please don't tell the story about your brother." Church.
Wow.
Church. All the years I was in church, I'd be so conflicted. Directing choirs, sitting in the church, just conflicted about how we can sing these songs of love and how we can love God. And we love our gay sisters and brothers who are singing and directing and playing the instruments and doing, but we don't respect them. We don't talk about your gayness. Right? So with all that being said, I honor my sisters and brothers, my gay, trans, queer, IAP plus sisters and brothers, like I would honor anybody whom I loved and respected. And if there was any way for me to, I dare say I honored my brother. I honored my children by making my brother and his husband their godparents.
Wow.
And I always say that I hate that I have to make this, this distinction, but I do so that people understand their relationship. My brother Daryl and his husband James, they were the best representation of a couple I had seen next to my parents. So I don't get a chance to talk about this a lot, because I almost feel like I feel foolish having to talk about why I love somebody and why their life choices don't make me decide how I feel about them. It's almost foolish to me. But I understand we got to do it. I understand there are a lot of people who are lost and confused and broken, right? And I be telling myself I'm not gonna cry. That's why I don't put lashes on.
Go ahead.
I watched my dad, who for all intents and purposes, as we say, was, he was macho, But I watched how my daddy loved my brother. No judgment. I watched how my family loved my brother And so with all that being said, that's not, I just, and I'll talk about this and tell these stories as much as I absolutely can so people will understand and that they will, I don't know. I hope that my stories and the way we love, I hope that people see that example. And I hope that church can get it right. And if God is love, we need God to be love. Okay?
All the way. All the way.
All the
Not
way.
just some.
All the way. So
All
there
the
is not, we're not just dealing with the systemic inequity of white privilege. We're dealing with hetero privilege. We're dealing with cis privilege. We're dealing with male privilege. We're dealing with thin people privilege. We're dealing with folks with a certain financial bracket privilege. We got to deal with all of it.
All of it. Yeah.
All of the systemic inequities. We ain't gonna just pick racism. We got to deal with it all.
And that's what I appreciate so much about this time. As much as I hate it,
Yeah.
as much as it strips me from happiness and
Yes.
safety, it encourages me because there are so many conversations that are being had.
Yes.
That we as a people, brown people, black people, we have swept under the rug. And I know for my family, that's a habit that we have down pat, honey. Okay, we can sweep some stuff under the rug. Okay, and
keep a broom, keep a sweep,
okay.
keep a broom.
Listen, under there, and we don't talk about it.
No,
we don't deal with it.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for sharing that about your brother because you didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that. When it comes to your brother, growing up with him, what's the age difference?
Shoot, 61. I'm 45. He's 60. Oh, he would cuss at me if he heard me say that.
So he's older than you.
He's 60. He's
Okay.
60.
Okay. So you grew up with him. Did you know? Was your reaction to him saying it because you already knew? Because the conversation that I have, and sometimes the argument that people try to bring to me, is that I woke up one sunny morning in September.
Yeah.
And I said, today, I want to be suppressed. I want to be oppressed. I want to be threatened.
Come on.
Offensive to people. I want to be taken wrong. I want to not be given a chance.
Come on.
I want to not be able to get a man.
Come on.
I want to do all these things.
Come on.
And I want to be a woman.
Come on.
Did you know that he was gay? Was there just this innate thing in was it just in his DNA? Like it just was who he was?
To me, he was who he was. It didn't. As strange as it may sound, it was no different. When he said it, it was like, this is straight. I was like, it doesn't make you any different. You don't like turn into a unicorn. Because for me, it didn't feel like that. And it didn't feel like, oh my God, that answers all the questions. It was not that either. He was who he was. That's a really interesting. I hadn't thought about that. No. And when we talked about it, so it took me maybe 2 or 3 years after he told me, once I got to Spelman and got away and then all people could talk about Atlanta is it's the Black Mecca, but everybody's gay. That was next to San Francisco.
Yeah,
this was it, right? So then it was like, why is everybody so obsessed with talking about gayness here? That's when I start to become like aware, and then I start asking him questions, and not because I was in judgment, just because I just wanted to know, because everybody was talking about it, but nobody was talking about it. Right? Especially in church. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody's talking about it or dealing with it. And so I asked him, were you ever attracted to women? He was like, no, not really. Well, it's very clear. He said he was very clear. And
Wow.
it just, again, I am always I'm, you know, I don't understand why I have to figure out why you feel like you do. Any more than I don't, that I understand why people feel. I'll never forget. I showed up to church, and listen, please know I absolutely appreciate what church means to me. I'm not bashing the church. I'm not trying to do that, because there are great people. There are parts of church that I hold dear to my heart. But there's this other piece, this hypocritical piece that is not the church, it's the people, right? And I showed up to church, and after my first year Spelman, and I cut all my hair off. And for no other reason than I just wanted to be free, or just whatever. I don't know. I want to cut my hair off. And one of the ladies at the church, old lady, yeah, you look better with, look, you shouldn't have cut your hair. You look better with a long hair. You too pretty to have short hair. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And I told my dad, I don't know why I did that. And he laid the lady out. Don't you dare, ain't none of your hot damn business. I mean, he gave her the business. One thing about my father, I wish, he's such a beautiful spirit. My daddy loved everybody. And he said, you don't let anybody tell you how to be you. Can't nobody tell you that. So and forgive all the people, the church folks watching. My father told me, if they got something to tell you, tell them to come see me, and tell them they can come kiss my ass when they come see me. Oh, my father was something else. Do you hear me? Irving C. White, God rest his soul. Every so often, people need to hear a little cuss and get them, straighten them up. Mind your business.
I'm a firm believer in
hey, but it was empowering in that, again, you can't let anybody else tell you how to be you. There we are again. You go your way, I'll go mine. And the world spins that much better when everybody's doing what they were called to do. If the steering wheel is trying to be the rear view mirror, it's going to be a problem. Wow. If the tire is trying to be the radio, it's going to be a problem. The car ain't going to move right.
Yeah.
So Ashton, we need you. We need me. We need my brother Daryl. We need our children. We need everybody to be exactly who they were created to be. Just like back to these fingers, like I need all my fingers with all these little differences, these subtle differences, right? Some of the differences aren't subtle, but they are necessary nonetheless.
Yeah.
I just, it seems so simple, but I know in no way do I tend to simplify or diminish how complicated it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know it is. I know I never heard my brother walk into a room and just say, hey, or anybody for that matter, hey, I am gay. I have to tell you this story because I was on a call last night with someone who is so important to me. And if I am going to be a member of a church and follow someone, this person, her name is Bishop Yvette Flunder. Do you know who she is?
Yes, from California, right? Yeah.
We were on a call last night, and I just, her honesty, her realness, and she says, I cannot lie. I will not lie. Right? So we got, like I said, in the United Methodist Church, had some family. He ended up pastoring one of the churches and got married, because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
As a pastor of the church, you got to get married. They didn't have kids, so they adopted 4 kids. And he was gay. Turns out he was living a double life. It came out, and he killed himself. And yet again, Everybody's talking about it, but ain't nobody talking about it. The pressure to feel like you got to be something else for everybody else will send you to a place where you feel like you got to take yourself out. Actually, I ain't doing it.
I get it.
I ain't doing it. I'm going to tell my truth. And I hope in doing that, I encourage other people to do the same thing.
Yeah. I am currently, girl.
I'm sorry. I've been holding this in. Ashton, I need to get it out. They be telling me I got to be quiet and everything. I just need to talk.
Wow. And this is why I'm so grateful for this exchange. I don't want to get misty. This is not what this is for.
Listen, that's why I put no lashes on. I ain't fooling with you and they be stuck up here because I didn't.
But I got lashes on, so I
But you look fantastic. You look fantastic.
Thank you, I'm reading a book right now. I'm about to finish it by George M. Johnson. It's called All Boys Aren't Blue.
Ooh.
This book, it tells a truth that I've never heard told before.
Ooh.
And I'm good friends with him, so I can believe that he'd go this way with this. But in the book, he chronicles growing up and knowing the importance of identity at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
And it struck me while reading that kids that deal with feelings of being gay, of being trans, because I knew that I was different when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
I told Dana this, and I gravitated instantly to toys that were geared to little girls.
Yeah.
I wanted a Kenya doll. I wanted a My Little Pony.
Yeah.
I wanted a dollhouse. I loved beauty. I loved the femininity. I loved the softness. I loved I was raised by my mother. My father was incarcerated. And so it's all that I saw.
Yeah.
All that I saw was this feminine power. You know, even when I went to my grandmother's house, my grandmother and grandfather are together.
Yeah.
But the force that my grandmother is in the house. You know what I mean? They say the man is the head of the household, but the woman, it's just something about her that makes the mustard yellow. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's something about her. And so I saw that, and it ingrained in my mind and my spirit. And growing up, it breaks my heart to think about the little children, because you never know what having to create, what having to keep up consistently, someone else's idea of you feels like. I was a little boy, and I had to match the idea of being a little boy from my mother, from my grandmother, for the people that were I grew up Jehovah's Witness, for the people that grew up in the congregation. And then as I got older, I started hearing the word gay.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that was, because again, I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I was very sheltered.
Yeah. And
I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
Gay and faggot and homo, and they used to call me something gay wad or something like that. It was all these names, and I'd be like, what does this mean? I thought that I was doing the boy thing right.
Yeah. Oh.
But I'm 6.
Ooh.
I'm 7. And it blows my mind, the pressure that we put on children. But to go beyond that, being a Black trans woman, I noticed that there is oftentimes this unspoken thing between me and women like you.
Yeah, come on, say it.
When I step into a room, I used to avoid women that were sexual and Black, because they had a way of noticing that my fingers were a little bit too long, or noticing that my shoulders were a bit too broad, or noticing that my feet were a little too wide.
Yeah.
And it will become a problem. It will become an offense to them.
Yeah.
You know, and there was no telling what could happen.
Yeah.
I know that you're not one of those women, but what do you think? What do you think that stems from? Where do you think that thing comes from, where I can't exist with you as a woman because of your idea?
White male patriarchy. I'm sorry. I that's where I am right now. I feel like we were that's I think that's a part of it. That right on site, you judge, you decide, you figure, you do all this right off. Why is it no? I gotta how can I figure out how to, because it's the same thing that we were talking about when I got to Spelman, and this is a little bit different, but quite kind of the same thing. There's this measuring. It's always this measurement that's going on and these comparisons, because I need to be a little higher than you. And how dare you come in? So I think that is a part of it. And then I think there's another piece that is, we just don't understand. Some of us just don't understand how, I think some of it too is we don't understand how you come in and hear me when I say it.
Come on.
You come in and you be looking better. You be looking better than we do.
Yeah.
I do. That's just real. I am, and forgive me if it sounds juvenile but I mean like on some real, like, wow. Some of us are really in awe. I think I'm in awe, and I'd be wanting to know, like, wow. Yeah. You move and you breathe and you feel, and how did that happen? Are you really what? And I've always been one that's wanted to ask questions and not to side eye. And I've always been afraid to ask questions. Some of them are want to know and are afraid, Ashton.
So what questions do you have? Let's just some of them now, and then we'll talk later. You know. But what are some of them now that you want, that you've been dying to ask?
Do you, something that I've been dying to ask?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so do you? I don't know how much is too much, but I feel I could just blurt it out.
Just ask the question.
Do you, as a trans woman, do you feel like you need? Do you have breasts? Because I don't know breasts. Do you want the whole change? How does that? Is it something that you've decided that you want? I've asked you a bunch of questions because so I decided that you want, or you feel that you need.
So here's the thing, because this is the conversation where we have real life conversation in real language, okay?
Yes.
So we're not going to hold any bars. First, we have to understand that not every trans woman is the same. Mm-hmm. Just because we identify as that term or that phrase or that grouping does not mean that my journey is any way, shape, or form like her journey. We just have that thing that connects us, that understanding, right, of the journey. It's not the same, but we understand each other's journey.
Yes.
With that being said, there are a lot of trans women who feel as though it's affirming to them, right, in their identity to have the surgeries, the bottom surgery and breast implants. Some people get fat grafting or facial reconstruction because that will affirm their transition. Yeah. I've always been the type of person where I knew who I was. You weren't going to tell me who I was, and you weren't going to make me believe that I had to do this, that, and the other to be that person. Yeah. So for my answer, no. I didn't have any surgeries. My breast growth came from hormones. People get on hormone therapy. Yeah. And it's where we go and get an injection or we take a pill. Exactly. It suppresses the testosterone and it enhances the estrogen.
Exactly.
I've been off of it for about 3-4 years now because I don't like the way it makes me feel. But that doesn't negate that there are a lot of that still do it.
Exactly.
So that's what happens.
Your voice sounds feminine. Is that,
Yeah.
was it? So some of that, was that naturally, like you said, because I'm first of all, I'm grateful to be able to have this conversation. I think if we did more of this without any, thank you, Ashton. I just thank you. So when you say you knew when you were 3, were there things that were naturally more feminine about you that you didn't try, other than desiring the same, but like that, like your voice, your the shape of your face, were there things that were just naturally more feminine about you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My voice has always been my voice. I was that kid that got talked about, dog. Okay, the first day we moved a lot. I lived in Virginia. We lived in Dallas, Arkansas, when I was a kid. So I had a lot of first days of school.
Yeah.
And when you had to get up and introduce yourself to the class, and they heard the voice, it was like, hold on,
Wow.
wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you go and you order a Whopper, and they say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And there's a cart full of people, and it's like, oh, whoa. You know what I mean? This has always been my voice. Now, some people, because again, not all trans women are the same.
Yeah.
They go through therapy.
Yeah.
Much like a singer, how you go and learn how some singers, because you don't need this, but some
Oh,
singers go
about placement and all,
and they learn how to the larynx and things like that. And so that people go through training and they learn how to speak above the larynx or speak, with less air or more air. It's a whole thing.
Further up in their placement, right there, right forward.
Come on, trainer.
I know, but that's right. That you just, you don't have to take it down in their chest, get out your chest. That's how I tell them, like, sit down. I give my chest. That's when they get that, huh? But this is great.
Yeah, that's it. But this is me. This is me.
I am in awe of your sacrifice to be open and because I'm honored to be able to have this conversation with you. Yeah. It is
like I said, I had been behind the line for so long. I didn't shy away from the fact that I was trans, but I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with the murders that are happening. And speaking of, all the stuff that are happening now with Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, and the Elijah McClains. Your thoughts on trans women, Black trans women, not being involved? Because you mentioned it earlier, how at the church we can talk about a lot of things, right? But there's a certain exclusion of the conversation. You can come up here, you can display your talent, and you can make my church great, and you
don't talk about
you can do all of that stuff, but don't mention.
Yeah, I'll even sleep with you. So last night is back to this conversation. This Bishop Plunger talked about being one of Sylvester's closest friends. And she said she was, Sylvester said, the very people that turned her out. So you abused me and used me in the back, right? And then you shunned me. And that is not so different than, it is tired. I'm tired of having to figure out why people are so broken and so mean, and why they do it in the name of the Lord, right? And So my heart goes out to all of my trans sisters and brothers. Um, just like my heart goes out to all of our Black sisters and brothers whose lives are just taken because they're Black, whose lives are taken just because they're trans. And then you have to defend you when you say all Black trans lives matter, or you say all Black, like, you got to defend saying that, because they say no, it's like, see, I'm gonna keep saying it until I matter. I'm going to say that I matter.
Exactly. I'm going to remind you because but I have to remind you because from somewhere down the line, our value has been diminished as trans people, as gay people. We are not held in the same regard
Absolutely.
as you because we're punks.
Absolutely.
We are the lowest of the totem pole.
Yes.
It is an absolute tragedy.
Yes.
For anyone Black to come to their family or communities and say, hey, I'm gay. Hey, I'm trans, I'm different, because there's no value in that. How can I use you when there's no value in that? Now, I can use you for an orgasm.
Absolutely.
I can
tell the truth.
You down
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
But I can't use you in the fight because you have no value. I've been taught that you're weak.
Yes.
Even in the strength of being courageous enough.
Jesus Christ.
In this world, or in the worlds of Marsha P. Johnson.
Yes.
That say, hey, I need. Yes. This is who I am. And that doesn't challenge your identity.
Yes.
It doesn't diminish your identity, nor does it change the fight.
Absolutely.
Because when I tell you, when you have us on your team.
Oh, listen. Solid as a what? Rock.
Listen. We're on the team.
And congratulations, by the way. But the law was passed that they can no discrimination in the workplace. Am I right?
Yeah.
Again, we celebrating stuff that should just be like, it's foolish for me to have to tell you that you should be able to keep a job.
Absolutely.
But congratulations, and it's still a major feat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I tell you when I
let me hold on a second. We have 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
Oh shoot!
I know.
What happened?
I know. Now, are you okay with coming back?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I can end it now, and I want you to start where you about to start.
Okay, good.
Finish the conversation.
All right, good.
All right.
Let me get off.
Yeah. All right. You guys, we're gonna go on ahead and end this live. Come right back. Oh my God, guys, this is what the conversation is about. Having these conversations unapologetically, unfiltered. Come right back for part 2 with my conversation with the one, the only, Avery Sunshine. Oh, now I'm a little glow want to come on. I don't need you now, glow. Thank you guys for coming back. This is part 2 of the amazing conversation with Miss Avery Sunshine. Y'all come on back in. We're going to look for Miss Sunshine to come on back in and get her added because I didn't want to lose what she was about to share with us. Come on. Hey, everybody. Hi. Hello. Okay, here she is. Okay. Cool. We're waiting. Hello.
I should have touched up these eyes before I start crying. They didn't.
Look fine. It's absolutely amazing.
But you know what's? I remember my first real experience with trans, and it wasn't in person, but it was with Paris is Burning.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I must have watched that documentary, I don't know how many times, and then ended up seeing people who I went to school with in the documentary, and later on it was really, I think I loved it because there was so much strength in and I remember the names because I feel like they were a part. Dory and Corey, Peppa La Beja, Willie Ninja. I know I know there's somebody out there who's seen it and they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Now the documentary that chronicles the ballroom scene.
The ballroom scene
in the 80s, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I watched their bravery to be you talk about people using unapologetically me.
Yeah.
You talk about being unapologetically you.
Yeah.
And there was so much in our Blackness that I learned about our creativity. Folks go home and they sewing outfits to wear for particular. It was a revelation for me.
Yeah.
I was empowered, and who knew that? I guess I was 15 or 16 the first time I saw it. Who knew that almost 30 years later, I would be able to talk about it and it would have had that effect on me. Wow. And again, their stories made me want to be a better me.
Wow.
Made me want to be a more honest me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there weren't a lot of people I could share that with. People didn't get it. They didn't understand. I don't know. I am grateful for that peak. And so I needed to make sure that you knew that, because it just came to me, and I honor the lives of the sisters and brothers who have transitioned, whose bodies were found, right? Because they couldn't get a job. So I got to do what I got to do so I can eat, just so I can survive. You'll take me in the back room and we can smash, right? But nobody can know about it. But I can't serve you food, or I can't be your attorney, or I can't even get into the school to get a degree. I can't do any of that. You talking about resilient and powerful, and I don't think I'm doing it justice or doing them justice, but I hope that their spirits know that I honor them, and I am grateful for their walk and their honesty. And shows like Pose, and it's like, I feel like it's like, y'all, these folk didn't know this is a,
yeah,
you know what, and hey, oh God, you know what, and on another note, I watched, y'all, I'm all over the place now. I remember watching Madonna and being mad watching all them Vogue. Oh, it's hot. Like she created it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see, you ain't old enough for that acting. I
get it. I'm there. I am there. Now let me let you know. Because within this, I acknowledge certain privileges that people place upon me that I fall into. And so I wanted to have this conversation because there are people that are watching or that will watch this that might be struggling. What I liken it to, for me, is that I think, and this is probably going to be really controversial, and I don't need anybody to agree with me.
You mean struggling with coming out, struggling with
their sexuality, their identity, just struggling.
Gotcha.
I honestly, I feel like there's a reason for everything. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
I believe that we in the LGBTQ community are, and I turned the comments on because I wanted, this is part 2, so I wanted people to be
absolutely.
It's when you look at it, I think that we just want, we're so much love. There's so much love
Yeah.
Even though there's shadiness, there are, trans women that don't like me for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
There are trans women that can't take me. They can't stand me for nothing, and I'm okay with that. I love it.
Because you're fine. It's all right. I know what you mean, Amy. They can't take this shine. It's all right.
And that's all right. I love them anyway. I love them.
That's right. The truth. I'm teasing, but it's the truth. When the light is bright for somebody else, and I hope people hear this. Question when you feel that tinge of something in you. If you see something, am I like that because their light is so bright and it reminds me that I'm not shining mine the way I'm supposed to? Because if I'm shining mine the way I'm supposed to, our lights together become brighter. I ain't tripping on her light. I want to put our lights together.
Avery Sunshine.
I want to get close to that light, make that thing even bigger.
Wow.
I'm learning to turn that thing because I've been guilty. I've been guilty of seeing a sister with a killer body or something, and she got it out, and she ain't got no stretch marks or nothing. And I'll be like, why she wearing it? Well, because she can. She looks fantastic.
She was absolutely amazing.
She looks absolutely amazing.
I get it.
And you do too, Denise.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to see. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I feel like we represent freedom.
Yes.
A freedom that we've never been shown before.
Yes.
We represent a freedom that we can't even fathom.
Yes.
You can come at your house like that. That's how you feel. And you're going to be so real with yourself that you can come out the house like that.
Tell it.
You're a man. You're going to kiss another man in public because that's how you feel, and you're going to do it out loud. Because I'm Black, and I've been taught all my life to, hey, whatever happens in this house.
That's right. Yeah, be seen and not heard. Be seen and be quiet. Don't let people know how you feel and what you're going.
And I appreciate people that recognize that. I really do. I wanted to ask you, Avery, and because I don't want to keep you long. What is love to you?
Love is correction. Love is being willing to have uncomfortable conversations. Love is listening, not just hearing. Love is doing not out of obligation. Love is accepting me with every bit, accepting you exactly how we come. And I got to take a minute to do the shameless plug.
Come on.
For my husband.
Yeah.
The person who loves every bit of me. If I got a head wrap on, if it's out, if I got lipstick on, if I don't, if the stretch marks, they ain't no issue. He just write notes and on the line. He figured I thought they were there so I could write you love notes. Don't bother me. Someone who love is being able to make the person that you love better. Because that desire for them is so great that you can't help but sow into them. You can't help but do that. That's love. That's love, and being willing to be vulnerable. Right? I didn't know that until I met my husband, who showed me. I'm trying to tell, and for everybody that's listening, cis, trans, big, small, white, Black. Love doesn't see any of that as a hindrance. It honors all of that. Because I don't like to say love is blind and love does. No, love sees it all and love honors it. Love sees my big ass titties and they hanging low. Do your titties hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Is seeing them and loving them anyhow, even on yourself, and loving yourself so much first that it emanates from you, and the people that are, they can't help but love you back because you love yourself so much. You know, I am grateful, and I'm able to speak about it like this because I was married once before in something, and it wasn't even all his fault, but I did it because I thought I was supposed to. I did it. And if for folk who don't know my story, I was pregnant before, oh Lord, I was pregnant before I got married. Now I said, what I'm in church and what I'm not going to do is have this baby out of wedlock. And guess what my mother told me though? You don't have to get married if you don't want to. And I did it anyway. But I'm grateful to God for the experience. Grateful to God that I've got these amazing children. However, I'm glad I allowed myself to accept the decision I made and move out of it, right? Honor that for what it was and be open enough to allow love to come to me again.
Wow.
I was broken, and I mean broken where I laid on the floor. Look, I'll never forget laying on linoleum. And I said, God, I got these 2 kids. If you get me out of this marriage, I promise you, I won't ever get married again.
Wow.
And, got out of it. And this man came into my life and loved me through every bit of that.
Avery, we're supposed to be closing, but I want to ask
you. I know. Did I go?
No. But now I want to ask you, how did you trust it when you went through what you went through with the first one, and this man that was wrapped up in Dana Johnson attire,
he wouldn't let me go.
Hey, I want to love you. How did you?
He wouldn't let me go.
Trust it,
Ashton. He wouldn't let me go.
Wow.
He wouldn't let me go. I tried. I'm not doing this. Get away from me. He wouldn't let me go. He kept calling me. He kept being there. He kept loving me. Oh, Jesus. He kept loving me. He kept loving me when I didn't think. I don't mean to be crying right now. Why, Ashton, why did you do that?
It's okay, because
that's why I say, that's why I tell people, I'm sorry, I just want people to know, if you can desire love, but don't go beating down no door. I know that sounds weird. I'm telling you, it will reveal itself to you. It will come to you. Don't be, I gotta go do this, and I gotta go make sure I gotta wear this particular thing, and I gotta do this, and that's the gag, right? That's the lie. Being exactly who you are. I dare say that man fell in love with me, and I was 30 pounds larger than I am now. I thought, I've got to look a certain way. I got to be a certain thing. I got to, I got to pledge this particular sorority and look like this. And I need to be well spoken for the kind of guy that I need. Yeah. That's all bullshit. Yeah. What I got to do is be exactly who God has created. Don't we keep coming back to that? Yeah. Don't we keep coming back? Yeah. To that person that you saw when you were 3, what you say, I know who at 3 years old, I know who I am. And that same person is going to attract exactly what God has for you. Whether that's a companion, whether that is a career, whether that is the family to be around you. God, I'm telling you, I
get it.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm not dealing with you.
I get it.
And I want everybody to know that I told Ashton that I was going to be on the show. I didn't give Ashton the opportunity to invite me. I said, I'm going to be on the show because they got my husband on.
I didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to. I didn't know, and I'm working on that. I'm working on not thinking that I'm a bother, that it's a whatever. I get it, and I thank you for this.
No, you have no idea how you've sown into my family. My husband needed our family needed the conversation that you had with my husband because we needed to be able to talk about it. And why it was so important. And it's our kids who are schooling us, though, said we went to high school with trans sisters and brothers.
Wow.
If the kids are leaving, come on, Ashton, do you hear me? Whatever this thing that is happening right now, this great unlearning and learning, I am yielding to it.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity for us to talk and for us to help each other, that's what, if the work can begin there, let's do that. Yeah. And if we can add 3 or 4 more in at a time, let's do that. But this is the time to do it. If there was ever a time, yes. This is it. Yes. And I am here for it.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Avery, listen.
You look, my head came all out the side.
Listen. Okay, the wig is sweated. Listen. I can imagine what you feel as an artist that gives so much to us, your fans. You write our feelings, you write our hearts, and then you allow us through listening, through whatever experience we're going through, to place that on you. You allow us to have a blanket of comfort when we need it. You allow us to cry when we need to just let it all out, and we place it, even though it's not physically on you. Yeah. We place it on you because your music is what we hear. Your sound is what we hear. And I want to personally say, from the bottom of my heart, that I thank you for being brave enough to share your gift with the world. Avery, you don't know how your lyric, how your instrumentation has healed me, how it continues to heal me, and most importantly, how it gives me hope. It gives me hope that one day I get to experience the freedom and the love that you have in those songs. So I thank you for this. I thank you for now being my sister friend. I love you so much. And thank you for this.
You already know. Anytime my head wrap coming off, you know you my family. I done got excited. We're not gonna keep going back and forth, but I have to tell you how important. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. We honor you. And I know the folk are in here, they're telling you. Clap. My sister Anita Wilson is in here. My sister Maya was in here. She's right there. She says love wins. I see my family in here. PJ Weidman. All these.
Come on.
We love you and we thank you for this space. We're going to continue to have these conversations. We thank you for this transformation, for spearheading this transformation. We are here for it. We ain't going nowhere. We are ready. We are ready to be free, and we ain't gonna lie. Do you hear me? We ain't gonna lie. We gonna be exactly who we are supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Listen here, I ain't preaching no more tonight.
You done it,
y'all see me on
Send your donations, you guys. If you're not already, I need to go and follow her. She has a new single out right now. How Will You Remember Me? Correct? Is that the right title?
Yeah. Yes. How Will You Remember Me? Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. You can find it on any platform. Yes. Anita Wilson, I see you, girl. Hey.
You see my sister?
I love you.
you got it. I know I'm not speaking for Neat, but I know I can. Neat, you got to have Neat on. We talk almost every day. And my sister Maya. at some point, I would love for all of us to talk and really,
Absolutely.
and I find that that's where the knowledge and the healing and all that comes from, not being like, well, I don't know. Listen, let's do, I appreciate you for ask the question, to say it. This has been so healing and affirming and empowering for me. I ain't keeping you no more. I'm going to be quiet. I will tell you this, Ashton, guess what?
What?
I have my cosmetic line is coming out, and so this lip I'm wearing, it's called the Sweet Afternoon Orange. It'll be out.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, yes. Listen, I'm going to make sure you get it. I got it. Only got 3 shades. We've got Pine and Pink, Sweet Afternoon Orange, and All in My Head Red. But look for it toward the end of the summer. And it's Lou Mack Beauty, named for my great grandmother, Jemima Lou Mack. Wow. And so it'll be out soon. But he's like, thank you, tell you like my lip. There's so much.
Because your lip be popping all the time. It's
all the time. I gotta make sure I'm coming on here right. Lashes, I ain't got no lashes on. Let's go.
I'm excited. Congratulations on
everything.
So much. You are a girl.
We got to figure stuff out, and we got to do it. And I figured we, especially now, we're talking about Black-owned businesses, and we're in this person, we're not. And you know what? This is the time for us to create. That's what we do, right?
Come on.
So everybody that's listening, if there's something you want to do it right now.
Right now.
Do it. Don't wait.
Right now.
While all of this is happening, do it now. We need you. We need your fingerprint. We need your shine.
Right now.
Do it right now.
Right.
Do it right now. And please know we're not doing it. We're not, it's not perfect while we're doing it. We're doing it and it gets better, right? If you never try,
come on.
Don't wait until it's perfect, because it'll never be that. Put something out, work on it. You can tweak it once it get out. You'll know what to do once you start moving. But if you never move, I'm just saying that to all the people who might need to hear that. Just jump, try something, do it, and the road will rise up to meet you. I ain't even had no wine on that, huh? But I'm gonna go get some now, because I didn't talk to everybody into a stupor. I'm sorry. Why you let me do that? Why you let me do? I mean, just hair coming out, just crazy.
I can't believe you are my guest. I can't believe this is who you are. You are an artist.
I adore you.
In the industry, and you ain't been jaded. You are real. You are loved, and I thank you, my sister. Oh,
I thank you, and congratulations on everything on the show and everything. And I love you. And anytime you call, I'm here.
Likewise.
All right.
Likewise. I love you.
Mwah. Bye, baby.
Bye, baby.
Bye, everybody.
Y'all, I don't know. When I thought of this, I didn't even imagine having Avery on here. I would have loved it, but I never even, I didn't even, I just thought I was going to be talking to myself, honestly. And you guys, this has been amazing. This has been absolutely amazing. And I thank you guys for joining. I'm sorry that I couldn't get to your questions. Y'all witnessed it. Huh? You witnessed it. I don't know. Maybe she'll come back another day and just have a question and answer situation. I don't know. All right. But if you aren't following, follow me. I'm going to follow you back. Go follow Avery Sunshine. Go listen to her whole catalog of songs and be lifted and be free. I love you. I hope that you love yourself. Find yourself. Be true to yourself. And tell yourself the truth. I'm Ashton Grooms, and this is The Conversation. See you next time. We're waiting.